Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have Caleb on Mono Black Aggro versus Warren on Tin Fins. And you gotta feel like Warren has to be a big favorite here, at least game one. As combo versus aggro, I mean, that's pretty much what you're looking for. Combo decks typically, I mean, if we're playing rock, paper, scissors, are going to be just so much faster than aggro decks have the ability to cope with. And we've got a Hymn to Torok. The very powerful tool. Lion's Eye Diamond Bayou, not the most explosive opening. Not doing anything with it. And losing 2 cards. Looks like a Dark Ritual and a Living Wish. Bloodstained Mire coming down, adding to Warren's mana base, but so far, so good. For Caleb, a Wasteland, and now a Dark Ritual of his own for acceleration into Rotting Regisaur. And that's a legit clock. That is a legit clock. Will Warren be able to outrace this, given the 2 pieces of disruption that Caleb's already thrown his way? Mishra's Factory coming down as well. That's going to add a little bit of extra damage, though the clock staying the same. A Dark Depths. And an Opposition Agent, prompting Warren to sack that fetch land in response. And that will actually change the clock, as this will be lethal. Factory stands up, swinging for 12. Not bad at all. Caleb picking up that first game, leaving himself in very good position potentially for games 2 and 3. As a aggro deck, you generally know your worst matchups and can do a lot to address them post-board. Now, sometimes there'll be matchups that you just don't even bother trying to address. You feel like it's not actually worth the sideboard space to take a match that you're almost certainly going to lose to potentially make it like a 50-50 match. That's not always worth dedicating, say, half of your sideboard. But Black is pretty well positioned to deal with graveyard strategies, and one of the better ways of dealing with the Dark Depths combo as well. I mean, you have Edict effects that can actually clear the Merit Lage regardless of what type of shenanigans they might have to protect it. And, I mean, Black is just generally pretty good at removing creatures. The Opposition Agent is a pretty big swerve versus this type of combo deck as well, shutting down any type of tutor effects. The fetch land's obviously very helpful to deny your opponent the mana, but if you're able to shut off some of those incredibly dangerous cards like Crop Rotation, you're Entomb, I mean, there's a lot. There is a lot of tutoring in combo decks, particularly in this build. Is you don't have Brainstorms and Ponders to kind of draw cards and manipulate the top of your library. You're just straight up tutoring for stuff. And I think this Tin Fins list might be kind of similar to what we saw out of, I think it was Matt Nass a few years ago at a GP, running that Living Wish. I haven't seen anybody doing that for a little while. I enjoyed playing that list. Found it to be explosive, a lot of resilience as well, and could make it pretty difficult for your opponent to figure out exactly how to try and contain any type of winning line you might have. I mean, sometimes you played out like almost like a Storm deck, playing tons of spells. Other games, you might not play any spells, or potentially just have like a turn 2 Dark Depths off of a little bit of acceleration. Yeah, Tin Fins, kind of 2-pronged attack there, 2 different combos. And we'll skip ahead over the shuffling. All right, so Warren using that mulligan to try and find something workable, but he's facing down a Leyline of the Void pregame. Incredibly powerful, probably the most powerful graveyard hoser. It's going to completely shut off Warren's graveyard until it's handled. And a Thoughtseizes sees a Castle Lochtwain and a couple of Dark Confidants and a Liliana. So this is a pretty fair hand. You're going to get a Dark Confidant going, then a Liliana, start chipping away at Warren's hand, and just grind this out. Caleb looking to outdraw Warren 2-1 with Dark Confidant, and then subtract a card each turn. You're basically outdrawing your opponent 1-0 at that point. They're getting no cards if they can't use them. So cards like Goro's Vengeance and stuff like those are just going to get stripped out of your opponent's hand. Warren is really going to need to rely on the Dark Depths combo facing this Leyline and the hand disruption. I mean, he really needs to find a way to get a 20/20 into play and connect with it. And that Liliana does have an answer built in to handle a 20/20 if you can survive a turn, which is a big if. So Rotting Regisaur, Caleb drawing into Rotting Regisaur and instead going full aggro as the deck name describes. Forget about drawing some extra cards. Let's just get him out of there as fast as possible. He's got a 2-turn clock. Oh, interesting. He's going to go with the Dark Confidant, which does make sense. He'll get the extra card draw out of this, or extra card revealed, and it does not change the clock. He'll be hitting for 11 next turn instead of 9 and 9. Either way, it's a 2-turn. And Caleb's showing still got all these. He's got the Liliana's Triumph. Even if Warren did somehow make a 20/20, would have just led to further disappointment as Caleb had all the answers and takes out what seems like it would be a difficult matchup, but he didn't make it look that way. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.